Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're diving into the life and work of, well, I'm sure you all know who it is, Stephen Hawking, but with a bit of a twist.
Yes, a twist.
Our sources this time analyze him through the lens of the Enneagram,
That's right.
specifically as a social type 5. Now, whether or not you're familiar with the Enneagram, I think this will be a really interesting way to kind of look at what made Stephen Hawking tick
Absolutely.
beyond the brilliant equations.
More than the science.
Yeah, exactly right.
The man behind the mind.
So the sources talk about this concept of the totem,
Hmm.
which is apparently a driving force for this type,
Right.
and how that manifested in Hawking's, well, his lifelong pursuit of a theory of everything.
Yeah, a theory to everything.
And I think it's also interesting how the sources connect his work to make science accessible to this social type 5's desire to benefit humanity.
Yeah, using knowledge to empower others.
Yeah, exactly. And get this, they compare him to Albert Einstein,
Oh, wow.
both brilliant minds, and both social type 5's.
That's an interesting parallel for sure.
I know, I'm already intrigued.
Yeah, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
The social type 5 personality, what sets them apart?
Yeah. What is it about them?
Well, at their core, they are just, obsessed with knowledge. They're like truth seekers,
Mm-hmm.
probing the world,
Yeah.
always trying to figure things out.
Yeah, always wanting to understand how things work.
Right, but it's not just about hoarding information, right?
Right. It's got to be more to it than that.
It is. It's about applying it,
Using it.
contributing to something bigger.
Okay, yeah. From what I've read, they're all about making an impact on the world.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
They have this deep responsibility to use what they know for the good of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen Hawking, I think, really embodies this.
Yeah.
He wasn't content with just, deciphering the universe.
Right.
He wanted to share those insights to empower other people with that knowledge.
That's a great point. I remember when I read A Brief History of Time, and I'm no physicist, but he made it so engaging.
He had a way of explaining these complex concepts in a way that anyone could grasp.
Yeah, exactly. But let's back up a little bit. You mentioned that totem idea before.
Oh, right.
What exactly does that mean for a social type 5?
Well, it's fascinating. It represents their ultimate pursuit,
Okay.
their driving passion.
Okay.
And for Hawking, it was this relentless search for a theory of everything, that framework that would unify all the forces of the universe.
Right.
It wasn't just intellectual curiosity for him. It was this deep personal mission to uncover the fabric of reality.
Wow. So his totem was this grand unifying theory. How did that actually play out in his work?
That's a great question. So, yeah, you have to think about all his research, like his work on black holes, his exploration of time, the singularity theorem, even Hawking radiation. All of these were connected by this overarching goal.
Wow.
He was driven to push the limits of what we know, to unravel the deepest mysteries of existence.
And to do all of that while facing the challenges of ALS, I mean, it's just incredible.
It's truly remarkable.
Okay. Talk about resilience and dedication.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder, if that theory of everything was his Everest, what were the base camps along the way?
Right. What were the stepping stones, the key discoveries?
Yeah. What were some of the things that brought him closer to that ultimate goal?
Yeah, what were those milestones? Yeah, that's a great question. You could think of it as what were the milestones on his journey to understand the universe?
Yeah.
And I think his work on black holes offers a perfect example.
Okay, black holes, those have always fascinated me. So mysterious and powerful. I feel like most of what I know about them comes from science fiction, though.
Well, before Hawking, our understanding of black holes was pretty limited. They were seen as just these, cosmic vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, just sucking everything up.
Right, these points of infinite density just gobbling up everything in their path.
And nothing can escape.
No escape.
Yeah.
But Hawking, he changed all that.
Okay, so how did he do that? What did he discover that shifted our perspective?
One of his most significant breakthroughs, I think, was the concept of Hawking radiation.
Okay.
This completely upended the prevailing view of black holes as inescapable.
Hawking radiation. Okay, I've heard that term before, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what it means.
It is a complex idea, but it's also incredibly fascinating. So imagine this.
Okay.
In the bizarre world of quantum mechanics, even empty space isn't truly empty.
What?
Yeah, it's teeming with these things called virtual particles
Okay.
that are constantly popping in and out of existence.
Wow.
Almost like they're borrowing energy from the void.
Okay, you're blowing my mind a little bit already.
Just wait, there's more.
Okay.
So how do these virtual particles relate to black holes? Well, picture this. A pair of these particles pops into existence right on the edge of a black hole's event horizon.
Okay.
That boundary beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape.
Right.
Now, sometimes one of these particles gets pulled into the black hole,
Okay.
while the other one manages to escape out into the universe.
So one gets trapped and the other flies free.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. That escaping particle, because it's no longer bound to its partner, it becomes a real particle, carrying with it a tiny bit of the black hole's energy.
Wait, so black holes are leaking energy. I thought nothing could escape them.
That was the assumption. But Hawking showed that it wasn't entirely true. It's a tiny amount of energy. But over these vast cosmic timescales, this Hawking radiation can actually cause a black hole to slowly evaporate.
So black holes aren't these eternal, unchanging objects like we used to think?
Nope. They evolve, they shrink, and eventually they disappear completely. Hawking radiation just totally revolutionized our understanding of black holes.
Wow.
And it all came from applying quantum mechanics to these incredibly dense objects.
That's an amazing example of how these seemingly unrelated areas of physics can come together to unlock this whole new understanding.
Right, it's like connecting different pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you wonder what other secrets of the universe are out there, just waiting to be revealed.
It really does. It's the epitome of interdisciplinary thinking.
I like that.
And speaking of connecting the dots, we can't forget Hawking's work on the singularity theorem, which he developed with Roger Penrose.
Okay.
This dives into the heart of what makes a black hole so fascinating.
Okay, the singularity theorem. Another term I've heard, but I honestly need a little refresher on what it actually means.
All right, so it's a pretty mind-bending concept. But essentially, the theorem demonstrates that at the center of a black hole, all the matter gets crushed into a single point
Okay.
called a singularity.
There's singularity.
And here's where it gets really wild. At the singularity, both density and gravity become infinite.
Infinite. That's like beyond comprehension. Does that even make sense according to the laws of physics?
That's the singularity is where our current understanding of physics breaks down.
Oh, wow.
It's like peering into a realm where the rules of the universe as we know them cease to apply.
So black holes are like these cosmic laboratories where the fabric of reality gets stretched to its limit.
Exactly. By studying them, we're not just learning about black holes themselves, but about the fundamental nature of space-time and gravity. They offer us this glimpse into the most extreme environments in the universe, where we can really test the boundaries of our knowledge.
That's incredible. So through his work on Hawking radiation and the singularity theorem, Hawking went beyond just understanding black holes. He used them as tools to probe the deepest mysteries of the universe itself.
You got it.
Wow.
And his insights have had a profound impact on our understanding of the early universe, the formation of galaxies,
Yeah.
and even the potential for other universes beyond our own.
It's amazing how these seemingly distant, enigmatic objects can offer such profound clues about the grand scheme of things.
It really is.
It's like he used black holes as cosmic Rosetta Stones to decode the language of the universe.
That's a great analogy.
It makes his quest for a theory of everything seem all the more significant.
Absolutely. He saw black holes as key pieces of that cosmic puzzle. And his work brought us closer to understanding that big picture. And even though he didn't achieve a complete theory of everything in his lifetime, his contributions were monumental.
Yeah.
He pushed the boundaries of human knowledge further than anyone thought possible, and his work continues to inspire and guide scientists today.
Now, when I think of Stephen Hawking, I can't help but think of his book, A Brief History of Time. I remember trying to wrap my head around it in college, being totally captivated, even if some of it went over my head.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a dry science textbook. It felt more like an epic story about the universe.
It's a remarkable achievement. He managed to explain incredibly complex concepts in a way that was engaging and accessible to a huge audience. People who might never have picked up a physics book found themselves engrossed in the mysteries of the cosmos, guided by one of the most brilliant minds of our time.
Yeah, it's almost as if he had this gift for translating the language of the universe into something everyone could understand. And it wasn't just the content of his work that resonated, it was his personality, too. He had this incredible wit and a way of connecting with people that transcended that typical image of a scientist.
You're right. There was something about his spirit, his refusal to be defined by his circumstances, that resonated deeply with people. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of his legacy, his impact on popular culture.
Yes. He became this iconic figure appearing on shows like Star Trek and The Simpsons. It's not every day you see a theoretical physicist hanging out with rock stars and sitcom characters. But I'm curious, did these pop culture appearances help make science more accessible? Or did they risk trivializing his serious work?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a tricky balance, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, seeing a brilliant mind like Hawking on popular shows,
Yeah.
it definitely brought science into the mainstream,
Yeah.
made it less intimidating for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
But I can see how some might worry about it overshadowing his work.
Yeah. Maybe making it seem less serious.
Right. But I think Hawking understood the power of popular culture. He knew these appearances weren't just about entertainment.
Yeah.
It was a way to engage with people,
Mm-hmm.
spark curiosity,
Yeah.
show them that science wasn't just, stuck in these ivory towers.
Right. He definitely had that cool factor that
Yeah.
you wouldn't normally associate with a theoretical physicist.
Exactly. And it wasn't just the cameos, it was his personality too.
Yeah.
His wit, that playful demeanor,
Mm-hmm.
his ability to even poke fun at himself, all of that made him relatable, even to people who didn't understand his work.
Yeah, like when he appeared on The Simpsons and outsmarted Homer in a bar bet. Or
Yeah.
when he guest starred on Star Trek playing poker with Einstein and Newton.
Oh, yeah. Those are classic moments.
Yeah.
They really challenged that stereotype of the unapproachable scientist.
Yeah.
Hawking showed that brilliance and humor could go hand in hand.
Yeah, they weren't mutually exclusive.
Not at all.
Yeah.
In fact, that could be a really powerful combination.
Yeah. And let's not forget about the impact of his synthesized voice. It became so iconic, instantly recognizable.
Right.
It kind of added to his mystique in a way.
It did.
Like a figure from the future,
Yeah.
A voice of wisdom from beyond the limitations of the body.
Absolutely. His voice transcended language barriers. It became a symbol of intellectual power and resilience.
Yeah.
It reminded us that the human mind can overcome incredible challenges.
And that message of resilience, I think that resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially those facing their own challenges.
Absolutely.
He never let ALS define him.
Ever.
And that was incredibly inspiring.
He embodied the idea that limitations don't have to dictate our potential.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, sometimes those limitations can fuel even greater determination and creativity.
So looking back on his life and his legacy, would you say that Stephen Hawking was more than just a brilliant scientist?
Oh, without a doubt. He was
Yeah.
a scientist, a communicator,
Yeah.
an icon, a cultural phenomenon.
Wow.
He bridged the gap between, the complexities of theoretical physics
Yeah.
and the everyday lives of people. He made science cool, he made it accessible, he made it human.
He reminded us that science isn't just about equations and abstract theories. It's about exploring the universe, asking big questions,
Yeah.
pushing the boundaries of what we know. And most importantly, I think he showed us that it's a journey we can all embark on, regardless of our background or limitations.
His legacy is a testament to the power of curiosity, the importance of challenging assumptions, and that, the enduring spirit of human inquiry.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life and legacy of Stephen Hawking, what's the one takeaway you hope our listeners will remember?
I think it's this: never underestimate the power of a curious mind. Stephen Hawking showed us that the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and that the pursuit of knowledge is one of the most rewarding things we can do.
Beautifully put. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the life and legacy of Stephen Hawking. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never lose your sense of wonder.